Let Satan eat out. I'm gonna let it shine. I won't let Satan eat out. I'm gonna let it shine. I won't let Satan eat out. I'm gonna let it shine all the time. Let it shine, oh yeah. I'm all wrapped up, I'm all tied up, I'm all tangled up in Jesus. I'm all wrapped up, I'm all tied up, I'm all tangled up in God. I'm all wrapped up, I'm all tied up, I'm all tangled up in Jesus. I'm all wrapped up, tied up, tangled up in God. Oh yeah. All around the grass, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the grass, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the grass, I'm gonna let it shine all the time. Let it shine, oh yeah. I'm all wrapped up, I'm all tied up, I'm all tangled up in Jesus. I'm all wrapped up, I'm all tied up, I'm all tangled up in God. I'm all wrapped up, I'm all tied up, I'm all tangled up in Jesus. I'm all wrapped up, tied up, tangled up in God. Oh.
Good morning. I always struggle with just where to start off with this presentation or exactly what to put in it, but this year was truly really about the children. Even though we went there to build the fence, it was really about the children. And we had, by the end of the week, 48 children in Vacation Bible School. So Elizabeth didn't go this year, and she was really missed because her thing is the children, and she always knows the workers by names. I kind of like do the word, and not so much on the relationship. I'm some on relationship, but Elizabeth is really big on relationships, so she was truly missed. So I'll talk a little bit more about Vacation Bible School as I work through the report from Haiti. I got a feeling that sermon thing was just kind of just slid in there. But so thank you, KOP. If there is ever any doubt that what we are doing by supporting Mission Lazarus is not a good thing, please see this report and know and be encouraged, because Mission Lazarus is doing great work, not just in Haiti, but in Honduras, and it's really making a difference in the world. So thank all of you for your support. So this is your Haiti mission team. It's myself, Ayo, Harry, Mark Niles from Chestnut Church of Christ, Chris Bradley, and then a friend of Chris, Parrish Wilson from Memphis, Tennessee. Chris has been on several mission trips and he's been talking about them. So this year, Parrish asked, Miss Kim, can I go to Haiti with you all? And I was, well, Haiti, Parrish, this is not a vacation. He said, yeah, I know it's not a vacation, but I still want to go. So he went, and he's the guy standing behind Harry, and he was so the hardest workers on the trip usually are Ayo and one other person. So this year was Ayo and Parrish. They really worked hard, and Parrish now wants to go to Honduras and he wants to come back to Haiti. So I think that was a great for him to attend and be exposed to mission work. So that's us at the Miami airport. So our agenda in Haiti was we worshiped with a local congregation. We visited the ruins of the Citadel and an old palace. Both were destroyed by earthquakes in the mid-1800s, and then we worked every day, and we had devotion every evening. And Vacation Bible School was supposed to be Tuesday through Thursday, but it ended up being Tuesday through Friday. Now, the church that we worship at, they actually have service from 7 in the morning till about 3 in the afternoon. Yeah, wow. So, we didn't worship that long. We went about 9 o'clock, and, well, actually we went about 9:30 and stayed till about 12. So Mark Niles actually preached, and you'll see a picture of him preaching. So just to give you a little bit of background about Haiti and Cap Haitian, as you know, we moved away from Port-au-Prince, which is in the southern part of Haiti, and moved up to the northern part, which is less crowded than Port-au-Prince. The national language is French and also Creole. There's a little bit of an economic boom in the northern part of Haiti. A few companies, mainly the Chinese, I haven't figured out just yet why the Chinese are in Haiti, but they're building small factories and building housing communities for their workers. And interestingly enough, the people who work for these factories and live in these communities actually have 24/7 access to utilities, that's plumbing and electricity, which is virtually unheard of in Haiti. Even if you are the middle class or the upper middle class, because of the infrastructure, you typically can count on having some brownouts and some blackouts. So not so with these communities. So Mission Lazarus School is in Gras, G-R-A-S, which currently has no school. The closest school is in Fort Liberty, which is a beach town that's approximately 10 miles away. So if the kids had the means to attend school, they would have to walk 10 miles to go to school. So the fact that Mission Lazarus and our support is allowing the school to be built and expanded over the years is just a great thing, because we all know what education can do for us. So that's the church. They've been worshiping there for 30 years. Obviously, their priority is something other than building. And that's the outside, and then that's the way the church looks in the inside. So as I mentioned, Mark did preach Sunday morning through an interpreter. They actually had 4 or 5 sermons. We got a chance to listen to 3 sermons in the time that we were there. And then what you see in the other picture is a young lady teaching Bible study to the kids that morning. So Mark talked about the life of Joseph. So I mentioned that we went to see the Citadel, and the Citadel is actually 7 miles up a mountain. And you can drive 3/4 of the way up, and then you walk the rest of the way. So guess who did not walk? I think Harry rode the horse up too, and Mark actually rode the horse up. But so half the team rode the horse up to the top of the mountain, and the other half walked, but we all walked down. So it's, as you can see, it's a very imposing fortress, and this fortress was built right after Haiti gained their independence to protect against potential invasion from the French. A guy by the name of, I don't know if it's Christopher Henry, started building this fortress, and of course he also built a palace for himself. So what you see on the picture with the horse is the fortress 7 miles up the mountain, and this is part of the palace, I believe. Every king has to have a palace. So that's the top of the, so that Citadel is not misspelled, that's actually the French spelling for Citadel. So we, again, all made it to the top of the mountain. Parrish, the guy that you don't know, is the guy in the black t-shirt standing next to Chris and Mark Niles. And then just another picture further down the mountain of the Citadel. So probably one day this is going to be a source of income because of tourism for Haiti. It's probably going to take a long time to get there, but they are currently renovating that. And I always get excited when I see some sort of economic boom taking place in Haiti, because I mentioned to Mark Pagankoff on the way from the airport, I don't know that anything gets in the way of Haiti's development other than Haiti. Just a lot of corruption in the government, a lot of red tape. So thank God that you do have these NGOs going in trying to make a difference. So this is where we left the building in May 2014. We completed the storage facilities, one of the first buildings for the school. And I had no idea that this is what it would look like a year later. So what you see on the left is other groups have come in, as well as Jared Brown spent a month down in Haiti in March. and they put in landscaping, painted the buildings, put in a porch, and it is a beautiful edifice when you look at it. And what you see on the right is just, that says, that's in Creole, but that says Mission Lazarus School in Gras. And then that's the rest of the team there. And you can see the school in the background. So what's going to happen with this school? The school will open in September 2015. They will have 15 4-year-olds, 15 5-year-olds. They will have 2 meals a day. Were it not for this school, these children more than likely would either have no food or maybe 1 meal a day, depending on where they came, their economic situation of their families. But at least this way they will get 2 meals a day. The principal has been hired. We actually had a chance to have dinner with the principal on Friday night. We went into the town of Cap-Haitian and had some of the best pizza I've ever had. And the principal's husband is the equivalent of an American social worker. So, and his focus is on child abuse. So together, even though he does not work for Mission Lazarus, they make a great partner when it comes to her being the principal at this school. And they are currently interviewing for 2 teachers. And one of the reasons the school did not open last year was that because they had such a hard time finding a principal. So she speaks French and she speaks Creole, and she promised by the time we get there next year, she will also be speaking English. Because since French is the national language in Haiti, that's what they focus on in the school system. Some schools do teach English, but not every school teaches English. So what was the project? We went there to build a security wall, and when Jared told me that's what we were doing, I thought, oh, okay, well, I've laid block. Every mission project I've been on, we've had to build concrete walls or concrete buildings or something concrete. So that's what was in my head. But when I got there, what I found out was, no, we're building a security fence. And it's barbed wire, or barbed wire, whichever phrase you use. And we have to clear the brush, we have to dig the holes, we have to place the posts, and we have to string the wire all in 90-degree Fahrenheit temperatures or above. So very grueling work, very rewarding work. And then of course we had Vacation Bible School. So that's the entire team with the school in the background. You'll see several pictures of the school only because I was just so overwhelmed when I saw the school to see that it had come this far. And that's first day, going in, clearing brush, digging holes, and I'll try not to bore you with all these pictures, and then putting in the post. And this is a corner, so when you get to the corner, for those of you who've done this kind of work, you know you have to put in extra reinforcement. So it took a lot of men to do that. Yeah, where's Home Depot? When I was in Port-au-Prince, there was a store that sort of resembled Home Depot, but there was nothing like that up here. So literally the day before, we were going to pick up the post that we were going to be using for the fence. So there you have it. I expected, you know, typical American, these uniform posts that you're going to be putting in holes, and not so. So when you have big poles and you have little poles, as you can see. So that's Chris kind of surveying the land, trying to figure out, line the post up, and you know what's going to be next. And what some of us did was, after the holes were dug, we kind of went along and laid out the posts so that when the workers got there, they would know exactly, you know, which post to put in. And that's just a little section. I apologize for the photography and the videography. I am going to take a photography course. So next year the quality will be significantly better. And I put this in there because the animals, the goats, the horses, the cows, and every other animal use this land to get to where they needed to go to eat, or they use this land to sit under the shade trees, or to just hang out and chill, so to speak. So every day as we move the fence around, these animals were just struggling with where do I go now, where do I go now. So that's what you see there. They're really trying to figure it out, what happened to my path to the other side. So this is us preparing for Vacation Bible School. We took a lot of materials with us. Mark Niles actually led the effort. I supported him, and Harry was our artist in residence. Anytime we needed a picture to communicate with the Haitian children what something looked like, Harry was the person to draw that for us. So this is just the end of the first day, and these kids were the most mannerable kids that I've encountered in a long time. And I have to stop and tell you this story. That was a little boy, and he had on sneakers, and the cap of his sneakers were covered with pink glitter. So when I saw that, what I knew, because the Haitian culture is pretty much very chauvinistic, and they don't have all of the discussions we have about gender and homosexual versus heterosexual. So when I saw the little boy with the shoes, I knew that he had those shoes on because those shoes happened to be in his size. They were girls' shoes, but that was all his parents could afford. So that's what he had on his feet. And interestingly enough, none of the other kids were poking fun at him or bullying him because he had on girls' shoes. And that said a lot to me, not just about their culture, but how much they respect each other in their poverty. And that says, to me, that's grace. That says a lot. But anyway, I digress. So this is just us laying out gifts for the kids, toys, not really gifts, but little toys for them to pick out at the end of the first day of Vacation Bible School. And this is the tree that we sat under last year and had all the mangoes. We were about 10 days early, so we didn't get any fresh mangoes this year. But that's Mark and I with all of the kids. And again, the kids were always very attentive. It was interesting that one day we had them cut out a cross, and it was obvious that a lot of the kids hadn't seen scissors. Now maybe I don't know at what age children get introduced to scissors, but I think it's probably before you get 8 or 9 years of age. So just a lot of learning experiences for them. So I'm going to bring up Harry and then Ayo to talk about their perspective, and then I'll come back up.
Okay. All right, let's see if I can do this without knocking this thing over. Again, I want to thank KOP for letting us go to, supporting us as we went to Haiti. Are there additional slides I can go through? Okay. I'm going to center my comments around 3 questions. These were comments that are questions that Ayo had introduced into one of our devotional studies. And first question was, what were my expectations and were they met? The second one was, what impressed me the most? And the third one was, would I be willing to return? So here we go. Very much along the line of what Kim was describing, what were my expectations? In a word, transformation. That was a word I think the elders wanted to look at. Is this experience going to be transformational? And it was. In a very physical sense, it was transformational. And when we left Haiti last year, the building structure that we left was complete, but it was just bare concrete, rather gray looking. The whole area is strewn with the debris of construction. And we were glad that we got to that point, but looking at it, it wasn't, it's not exactly an inspirational site, just it looks something more like you would expect on a military base, or, something that just went through a battle because of all the debris around it. And then, so I had expectations that the buildings would be somewhat much more completed than when we got back, but I did not expect that. That was to me, that was mind-blowing for me. The actual building that we worked on, you can't see. It's behind there. But it has the same type of coloration, the blue, the light blue and the red roof. And so that was for me, that was mind-blowing. Like I said, I was expecting something that they could move into, but nothing like this. So now you go from a very gray, very grim-looking structure, all concrete, to something like this, which is very ready to start accepting students in. And all they have the principal, they need the staff, the teachers, and I guess additional workers, I guess, run the kitchens and so forth, whatever else. But other than that, I mean, that's which is a lot. The physical structure is ready for them. They can go in. They can have a class. If they have 3 classes there, it's going to be like for 4- and 5-year-old September, and I think each year they're going to add another classroom for another age group, and it's, I think, eventually they're going to add another building and expand it to, I think, they go always up to what's age 14. So that's their expectations, and that exceeded my expectations. That quite frankly, that kind of blew my mind. It was rather dramatic when you come down this dusty road, you're bouncing around, and then boom, there it was. That was very heartening, very encouraging, and it very much did exceed my expectation. Transformation, also there was a transformation, I think, in terms of spiritual growth. And the Bible teaches us that as Christians, we experience a new creation, that we are being constantly made into this creation, and at some point in the future, the new creation will be made complete, fully redeemed at the end times. So the question is, from a practical standpoint, how do you experience transformation? And I think it's a bit of a mystery, how God works in people. What is the mechanics? But maybe in a practical sense, there's some things we know that can promote transformation. Involvement, active involvement in the local congregation is one way. These mission trips, I think, it's another way of experiencing transformation. You get to see, you have a focused effort in serving Christians and a community, a very focused effort. In 1 week, you're there just for that. And you also get to see Christians in a very different environment, a very difficult environment. And these things then help us to grow in our faith in God. The second question, if I can move this down, yes. The second question was, what impressed me the most? I would have to say it was the expression of faith by the Haitian Christians in a very difficult environment, economically depressed environment, and in a very uncertain environment. They lived their lives, for the most part, the people we saw were living in basically what you would call grinding poverty. Some people really don't know when their next meals are going to be coming. They have a largely ineffective, dysfunctional government and political system, but they still reflect Christ in their lives. You would think that situation would be a situation ripe for bitterness, resentment, and anger. But that, from what I could tell, from what I saw from the Christian, was far from that. They weren't bitter, they weren't angry, they weren't mad. They continued their lives. They continued their lives as Christians, reflecting God's love and mercy. And it proves that Christ is more powerful than their conditions. And what I take from that, if they can do that, if God can empower them to live Christian lives in that difficult circumstances, then I should be willing to do the same in much more comfortable circumstances here, in where my life is much more comfortable and our situation is much more stable. Last question, will I return? I would love to return. I consider this an important part of my life. I consider this to be, I should continue on with my slide. That was the church building there, by the way. That's Ayo in the corner there. You can see him. He's wearing his native outfit from Nigeria. That was there's a Sunday school under the tree right next to that. You can see Kim there and Mark Niles. Yes, but getting back to the questions, I would love to return. I don't know if I can or not. In a year time, anything can happen. Economics being the way they are in the States. But I'll give it to God and have faith in God, and then hopefully I will be able to go to that. So I would conclude saying that if you can go to these things, go. I think it will be transformational. You'll be able to see people living Christian lives in difficult circumstances. In a way, you kind of see a purified version of Christianity, stripped of all the facades and things that we associate here in the States with Christianity. You kind of see it in more its basic and pure form. And I found that very, very encouraging. All right, that's all I have to say.
Good morning, church. I'm happy to be here again, and I'm very grateful for you guys supporting us on the trips. I don't know how many of you go on trips like this, but for me, this is always something that I look forward to now every year, because this is the closest to going home for me. I can't go to Nigeria every year because of the expense and because of all the things that comes with it. But I'm always looking forward to going to Haiti, because for those 5 days in Haiti, I don't think of anything about work or the US or Africa or any place. But, you know, just looking around, seeing the people, and reminding myself of home, and reminding myself of the work that we're doing. Because the first day you get there, it looks like there's no way you're gonna get it done. Last year, when we got there, there was no way we're gonna put up the four walls and the roof by Friday, but we got it done by Friday. This year, we got there on Monday, and they told us, okay, we're doing all the fence around from here all the way around. And we started on Monday, and we finished on Monday, and it looked like there's no way we're gonna get it done. But by the end of Tuesday, we already had the back wall all done to the corner. And they still say we're not gonna get it done. Because, I mean, it's hot. Just walking from the fence to get water in the car, I mean, you don't wanna come back to work. Because, I mean, you drain just walking to the car to get water. But, I mean, we set a plan, and I mean, Chris and Parrish, man, I mean, I feel old compared to those guys. Because, I mean, all I was doing was just telling people where we need to be by the end of the day or by 12. But we did the work. We got the work done by, I think by 12 on Friday. We were done with what we needed to do. So after the break on Friday, we did some extra work because there was still time to do some stuff. We put in some other, a new gate and a new fence. There's a creek that runs through there. And we were told that when it rains, it pours, and it's like a river that comes right through. So we had to put in a gate that can open when the water rushes in, so it doesn't bring the whole fence down. So that was the extra work we had to do on Friday. But the whole experience for me has always been great. I've always looked forward to it. I plan on going again next year. I mean, I'm putting my faith in God that it would happen. I mean, that's my vacation. I don't have any other vacation days, but that is something that I look forward to every year. And I'm open, as time goes on, I'll be able to introduce my daughter when she turns 10, be able to take her with me so that she can have an experience and have something to differentiate a life here, which is kind of a privileged life, to the life of other kids her age, so she can see what other people in the rest of the world, what they have to go through to get some of the things that she take for granted. Because every morning when we drive to the work site, I mean, you see the kids like, 4 and 5-year-old walking by the side of the road going to school, holding each other's hands, going to school. Here, you drive your daughter to the corner and put them on the bus and take them to school, and you go pick them up late in the afternoon. Nobody worries about those kind of things over there. They dress the children up in the morning and they send them out the door to go find their way to school, even at that very young age. So I really look forward to going there to do the work. I know Mission Lazarus is doing great work, and I hope they continue to do the work, and I hope we continue to support them as they do that kind of work. So the one thing that I took from it, and there's a Bible passage that I found when I came back, was Isaiah 41, verse 10 to 20, and it's just talking about God promising Israel that no matter what, He will provide for them, He will take care of them, and He will be there for them. And that's my hope, that no matter what, that God will continue to bless this work and bless the people that go to do this work, and that we continue to support this great work. And anybody that have the opportunity to do it should try. I mean, even if it's one time, you will really come out of it, renewed, reassured, and you'll feel great about yourself. I mean, you don't have to worry about anything. Right now, I don't worry about much. I take solace in the verse in Isaiah 10:13 that said, let me see if I can remember, that for I am the Lord your God, will hold your right hand, saying to you, fear not, I will help you. So that's the new verse that gives me hope and strengthens my faith that, when next year comes, whatever happens between now and next year, God will be there for me and will be able to provide for me to be able to take the trip once again. So I'm asking that we continue to pray that God will continue to bless this work, and whenever we can, whatever we can do, if you are able to, you should try and go on one of this trip one time, just to experience it, and it will really, really, really bless your life. So once again, I want to thank the church for this opportunity, and I hope you will all support us next year, and you'll be there for us next year when we all decide. I don't know how many of us will be going, but I hope to be there next year. So I thank you, and thank you from the bottom of my heart for the privilege to go on this trip. Thank you so much.
What Ayo didn't tell you, and probably has not told Ghislaine either, is that he has already picked out some land over there that he's buying. So he keeps saying that, I keep saying, does your wife know you're planning on moving to Haiti? So we'll have to ask her that. So again, I'll leave you with just a few more slides, just the school building. I mean, we were just overwhelmed when we saw the building, and it truly was an awesome experience. But what Mission Lazarus is doing in Haiti is awesome as well. And just a couple of more pictures about Vacation Bible School, because it really is more so about the building. It really is about improving the quality of these children's lives. And this was sitting under the tree. They were drawing their concept of heaven as part of the Vacation Bible School lesson. And then you saw we played Duck, Duck, Goose, and then we played a couple other ball games throughout the week. And the girls got to make necklaces out of a jewelry kit we had, so that's them showing you their necklaces. And that's the team. And believe it or not, this is Haiti. This is about 10 miles from where we were working. the most beautiful beach that you want to see. You drive down a road and you drive through abject poverty, and then you end up here. We saw 2 swimmers. So I'm not for companies going in and building condominiums and exploiting the local people, but I don't understand. This is one of the things I don't understand about Haiti. Why do you have this here and it's not a source of income? You don't have to you don't have to destroy the entire beach, but it's just a beautiful sight right there in Fort Liberty. You know, same beach. You do have some fishermen out there. Presumably they are, fishing to bring fish to the market. I don't know, but it's absolutely a beautiful place. You have the mountains, and then you have the ocean. So we don't hear about that. We hear about all of the urban sprawl in Port-au-Prince, but there are truly some other parts of Haiti that's very well worth seeing. And this is our last day, and this is, I didn't point it out in the beginning, this is where we stayed, and now we are headed back to Philadelphia. That seems, when you're there, Philadelphia seems a long way away. But we were back, and thanks to Mark for taking us to the airport and picking us up from the airport. And again, thank all of you for your support. So it's 11:45, so we're right on time here. And we're done. Thank you so much.